Alright. Okay, just need to double check that my mic is working. It is in fact working. Solid. Right, okay, where's my little stand thing? There it is. Okay. Bah. This is... It's been a while since I've done this. It's scary. I feel like I'm really praying on no safety cars because I genuinely just will not have a clue on what to talk about. Alright, finally. Alright. Qualifying has started for the Silverstone British Grand Prix. My name is Darwizzy, formerly known as Constella. And we have 19 people, so quite a full lobby. Guarantees to be some incredible incidents on turn 1. Also, let me know if I'm a bit quiet, a bit loud. I'm a little bit ill, so yeah, there's that. So I'll just wait for somebody to exit the pit lane. Currently, as far as I'm aware, McLaren are leading the constructors by quite a large margin, and if I'm not mistaken, Charldinho is leading the drivers with a McLaren driver behind. I think it was Shadow, but not 100% sure. And we had the first car leaving the pit lane. We have one Ferrari. No, we have 2 Ferraris. I'm blind. Okay, people are leaving the pit lane now. I need to get all the telemetry and stuff up. Do I leave on this or not? I'll leave it on, and then if I get ordered to take it off, then that'll be that. Alright. Who is going to start their lap first? It is Jono. Former teammate. We're now at Haas together, just at different tiers. Very good driver. Could definitely be a top 5 driver. He's on his out lap and he's absolutely pacing it around Maggots and Beckett's. Behind him, I'm pretty sure, is the Alpine of No, it's not. It is Joshi. I've not actually seen much of this dude. Oh wait, no, it's not. It's a Williams. Wait, it's Mariner. I've not actually seen much of Joshi Minty Hazard or this person. So yeah, it'll be entertaining. But Jono starts his lap, come around the final corner to begin his lap. He will set the benchmark, unless he invalidates, of course. Then I'll be up to Joshi, but hopefully the Mercedes don't get in his way. He doesn't. Looking quite solid right now. It's a very nice corner that was. Getting very close to the sausage curb. The sausage curb, which of course can ruin the whole lap. But Jono's managed to keep it clean. Not bin it off, but he's scraped a little bit of the grass, and I think that might have been a little mistake, but I'm not 100% sure. Here he comes towards cops down the old pit straight. Hopefully doesn't invalidate that. Comes very quickly at you, very easy to invalidate. Gets really close to the sausage curbs, manages to miss them slightly. Ooh, and he almost loses the back end, but he manages to save it, but that's going to cost him a lot of time. So look, this benchmark might be relatively easy to beat. Hopefully he doesn't lose it anywhere else. See what kind of lap he is able to produce, and then of course we'll have Marinov behind, if I'm not mistaken, but coming on final corner, it's a 126.5, and with mistakes, and I don't think that's actually too bad. Everyone's going to be making their way towards Maggots now on their laps, so I'll try to keep up with everyone. What's Minty-Haz going to do? Now he's half a second down on Jono, but considering he's a F2 driver, it's pretty good. Now you have Gabby, who's on his lap. I did not even notice he left the pits, but I think he's going around again because his time is quite slow. Who do we have coming behind him? We have... I'm going to miss it. No, not. Joshy. Which is quite a slow lap, so we'll go off him. Flat Red, what's he going to do? A 126. Now, see, these people are F2 drivers, and I know Jono made a mistake. Oh, everyone's going across the line now. Chimpsed's fastest lap. Everyone's coming off the line, and I completely missed it all. Great. Red Bull. Chesley Reese. Not done good enough. Charldinho with the fastest lap. I completely missed that all. I was too busy waffling. My bad. Who else is coming around the final corner? Another Red Bull. Jordan, who's a very fast person. Puts it P2. Charldinho, the only person to put it into the 125s. What could Tessa do? It's P2. Flatbread. Two F2 drivers. My lords and saviours. The Williams. Have been bumped all the way down to 8th and 9th. Where it was only moments ago they were at the top. But McClenny starts his out lap, or his main lap, so we'll see. Maybe he can set a good time. Doesn't come close. Second corner was very smooth, but he almost loses the back end, but manages to keep it clean. Definitely some time to gain. This is only his banker, so you never know. Very nice corner through that. I think Jono did make a mistake through there. No doubt in my mind that he didn't. God, I hate having a runny nose. I woke up and it was blocked throughout the day. Oh, and he loses the back end, but he managed to save. He made the same mistake that Jono did through the same exact corner. Maybe the grip there is a little bit odd. Maybe the setup is a bit more aerodynamic than the rest of everyone else. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 127.1. It's going to be put in P12, which is not the best, but there's time for him to improve, so you can definitely bump that position up just a little bit. Dylan starting his lap. I missed Dylan's lap. He was F2 last season, but no one really paid attention to his pace. He's kind of the underdog, although he has 10 battery remaining, so I do not think that this will be a good lap in the slightest. May just be a visual glitch because I don't know why he'd be sending it, but you never know. If that was me, I'd be conserving these compounds. Marinov though, no one on a lap without the Ferrari. Nope, he's just done his lap. Gabby's not on a lap. Who's on a lap? Flatbread's not on a lap. Charldinho was on a lap and he's only improved his time by 0.3 of a second, I'm pretty sure. Absolutely mind-blowing time. That's faster than my time trial time around here, I think. That's a little bit embarrassing. Anyway, I didn't even have to expose myself to that. I just have. Is that Marinov coming into the pits? Gabby is probably going to come into the pits. Minty Hansa is on his lap. Now, he hasn't actually set a lap yet, as well as the two McLarens who seem to be some of the more pacey people, as they are top of the constructors. I'm pretty sure it was a P2, P3 for them. No, it was a P1, it was a 1-2 for them, I'm pretty sure, in our most recent race. Actually, I'm not too sure. Don't quote me on that. Minty has to come around the final corner, looking like it's going to be a decent time. P6. It's kind of hard for me to be energetic when I don't feel too great, but all in the spirit of being here. In Helix's absence and actual comms for F1. It's a shame we didn't have any for Austria, but what can you do? And at least he didn't lose it during his lap. Now, who is not coming into the pits? Someone who's not coming into the pits. Flatbread on and out lap. My F2 teammate, who has struggled so far this season. Only recently did he bring back some points from the sprint race. But after some unlucky collisions, hopefully, he can prove his pace to all the people that doubt him. Because there are a lot. Slightly misses the apex as they can get really close to those sausage curbs. The McLarens are finally coming out the pit lane, so it'll be very exciting to see what laps they can put together. Flatbread though coming past the open straight, going around the cops, and that's going to be an invalidation. He's going to try and keep it clean, but doesn't it get invalidated somehow? Through Maggots and Beckett's, looking rather fast, rather hefty. I know the grid is changing a lot right now. People are setting laps, but I'm more interested in what lap Flatbread can set. And he hits the sausage curb. That's going to cost him a lot of time. And he hits the second one. I don't think this is going to be an improvement by any means. No. Almost. But now I'm more interested. Anyway, my dinner has arrived, so I'm excited to see. I'm pretty sure one of the only people that might be able to contend for pole position are one of the McLarens, top of the constructors. If I remember correctly, about 20-30 points off of Charldinho, who's currently sitting at the top. He's like the Max Verstappen of the F1 division, constantly at the top of the board. Rarely you'll see him down in the midfield, and if you do, it's because he's just boxed. Oh wait, hold on, I'm bugging. Shadow is ahead. Almost missed that completely. What kind of lap can he set? Now this is his first lap after about 15 minutes. What can he do? And he puts it on pole. Like, oh yeah, just on a bank lap, he just slaps it right on pole. What can Zink do? Zink puts it P3, half a tenth down on Charldinho. So McLaren are up so far, sitting comfortably, and Hazy is starting his lap. So while he does his lap, I am going to eat my food. and try and watch at the same time. Once it reaches sector 1, we'll be able to, or gets to sector 2, we'll be able to tell if he's up or down on his time. Bloody hell, I'm gonna sneeze. Bloody hell. Okay. He's only half a tenth down, but I'm sure he can find that time back. The only thing that separates Shadow and Charldinho is, what's that? And he's invalidated, but the only thing that separates the two, I'm gonna get this so wrong and get bullied. 400s. Top 3, actually top 4 and maybe top 5 are all quite close. There's Zach McClenny on his lap trying to improve. He's got to P8 after getting P12, but can he improve again? Nope, he's going in. Now Jordan is an interesting man, but before I get to that, Gabby has improved, I think. Nope, he's starting his lap. He was invalidated effective immediately. No, he just done his lap. Chimp is on his out lap, about to start, so we'll watch along with that. Although Jordan, see, he's fast. He's just, I'm pretty sure, competed with apparently the top drivers in the UK, I think. And he's got 3rd, so he's a very pacey man in the race. Quali pace seems to be lacking just a little bit, but maybe this final run that he's about to make can prove me wrong. We have Chesney Reese though at the bottom on the lap though, so maybe he can improve and not be last, but there's a lot of traffic. There's a Haas ahead of him that needs to move. Not sure he realises there is a car behind him. Oh, and that's gonna be a quali ban. Who is that? It's Dylan. Oh, unless somebody doesn't report it, that's gonna be a not very fun for Dylan. But Charldinho takes pole again. Gabby retires. He's not having it. He's previously said that he doesn't want to touch it here, so I'm surprised he's actually shown up, quite frankly. But again, the two McLarens on their outlap. A 10.5 difference between the Alpine and the McLaren. Although Joshy, hopefully, he's down on his time just ever so slight, but maybe can bump it up and get ahead of the Ferrari. But there's a lot of traffic in his way, none of which are going to get in the way of his lap, apart from the Haas. No, he moves out of the way.
Banned for Monaco.
Potentially. Knowing Gabby, he'll probably report it, even though it doesn't concern him whatsoever. Joshy's not able to improve, but the McLaren's about to start their lap. Can they snag pole away from the Alpine? Zinc 2/10 down. Shadow 1.5 tenths down. But am I tripping, or is K1 has left the session, probably due to some Wi-Fi problems. Charldinho has retired in the pit lanes, I hope. Qualifying is now over. Zinc is down on his time. What about Shadow? I didn't see in time. I threw. Can anyone take it away from the Alpine, or is the Alpine gonna sit on pole and have the advantage in the race as well as the Drivers' Championship. K1 has rejoined, definitely some Wi-Fi problems there, especially considering he DC'd moments before the race had begun. Jordan sits at P12, Chimp sits at P13. But I'm only interested in seeing whether the McLarens can snag. But Tessa puts it P1. I was not expecting that. Zinc improves by just a bit. What can Shadow do? And Shadow cannot. But not only does Charldinho not get pole, but what? I'm honestly really surprised. I've heard that they are supposed to be very fast, but I didn't know they were that fast. God damn. Joshi though, he's on a lap. No, he's going into the pits. That is qualifying over. Well, hold on. Flatbread puts it P7.
Whoever left the session literally cost my last pole lap. Say thank you to the mine fucking fuming RN.
That is another thing. Illyrian is a very pacey man. I didn't actually see his lap at all, and didn't watch it. But I mean, if you want to report it, I'm not sure if it'll do anything because it wasn't his fault. But when did you come? 9th. Well, he has the pace, according to him saying he can get it on pole. So we're just going to see it in the race. But we have Tessa in P1, the Alpine in P2, and Zinc in P3. So he did actually take a position away from Shadow, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The race is soon to be underway.
1/10 lower, I lagged into T1, so was miles away from Apex.
That's alright, mate. P7 is still an absolutely banging result, considering you are in the midst of much pacier drivers. I'm enjoying this. Do this more often. I'm gonna wait to stick that in my mouth. So qualifying is finished. A lot of consistency from the Alpines and the McLarens. I haven't really paid attention to this division that much, so I have no clue about anyone else's pace apart from Illyrian. I know he did really well in Imola. Not so sure about Austria. But not to worry. Oh my god, my notes. Sorry for the constant sniffing. I'm just not feeling it today. Bloody hell. Hopefully. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And away we go for the British Grand Prix. Sorry, let me stick up the stuff. Into turn 1. No carnage yet, but there is an Aston Martin of Gabby. Oh no, he's going to be absolutely fuming. And he's retired on track. That's not going to be very good, but a lot of position changes. Chimp is ghosted. I think there's been a little bit of lag. Jono has been spun. Gabby has left. He is not happy about that, but oh my god. A little bit of internet problems, but we have a lot of changes at the top. Charldinho back up into first. It's a 1-2 for the Alpines at the moment. Tessa, who was pole position, has been knocked down to 4th. Probably some turn 1 catastrophes. Ow. Although Jono spun, he's managed to keep it relatively close to the pack. Not all hope is lost. He's going to have to make the comeback of his life. Is Joshi going to fight the Alpine of Charldinho? I'm not sure, but almost loses the back end. And they're working together. Oh my bloody hell. Joshi has started on the softs. So, it is only right that Charldinho lets him through, lets him go. Jonathan, 5 seconds. 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Maybe Jonathan and Wave had a collision. Now is Wave going to retire and go play Storm with Gabby? Who knows? But we have Illyrian proving his pace up into P7. But the top, there we are. Top of the grid, having a very, very nice 6-way battle here. Although Wave almost loses it, but manages to keep it together. Manages to stay behind JSTM, and a little bit of lag has cost him so much time. Oh, because K1 left the session due to internet problems. I recommend that K1 does not rejoin, otherwise there'll be more issues for the rest of the drivers. Hopefully some fighting can happen near the top, and Flatbread can make a comeback due to the lag. But Joshi's not, even though he's on the soft compounds, he's not made that much of a break from the rest of the grid. Illyrian with the fastest lap. What tyre compound is he on? He's on the softs. DRS has been enabled. He's going to have to get a little bit of a wiggle on if he wants to catch up with the rest of the grid. Flatbread in P7 on the mediums. Let's see the strategies. Quite a variety, to be fair. I did not think that anyone would run softs, but I suppose if you want to get the early lunch and everyone else can get the early advantage, it's what you got to do. Even though Joshi is on the softs, he's everyone behind him is doing a very good job at keeping with him, and now that DRS has been enabled, it's going to be very hard for him to break away. The Alpines need to work together. Tessa is in a McLaren sandwich right now. That's going to be a track limit warning for JSTM, also in a shadow. Chesney Reese though, not sure where he finished in quali. Into P13. I think the last time I checked he was P19, so some very good stuff from the Red Bull. Jono, who was last, in 2 laps has climbed almost half the grid. So very good stuff from him. Have we seen any position changes? No, we haven't. The top is still very consistent. Flatbread's dropped off a little bit. Illyrian though has done the opposite, and he's gained an absolutely crazy amount of time. Although he's on those softs, which might begin to drop off soon compared to the people ahead of him who are all running hards. You know, he might get the undercut, but he might have to pit again depending on what his strategy is. I wish there was a way to tell. I think there was some wheel-to-wheel action, but I didn't quite see. A little bit of a fight between the Williams and McLenny. The reserve and the one with the main seat. He's going to chase him through maggots. He's going to get that DRS, but Chimp ahead of him is going to give Marinov the DRS, so it's all to do with battery usage. Although I think Chimp is far enough away that he's going to stay ahead going into the corner. A little bit of a battery disadvantage, but the DRS should help drag him along. Jordan with the fastest lap, all the way down in P14, so I don't know what happened with him, but he does set the fastest lap of the race on 4 lap old hards. He's just proving his pace. Back up to the top we go. Nothing really happening at the moment, although a lot of the drivers are very close together. There are only a couple of people who have major gaps to each other. F1 is always so consistent. You look at F2 and like in the first couple of laps the whole grid is spread out everywhere. If we look at F1, it's just a train. It's really hard to get away from people, take them out of their DRS zone. I'm going to move that there and move this there so I can actually see the whole track map. Look at the DRS train. Jono picks up a time penalty. Charldinho has noticed that the softs are starting to drop off a little bit and he's taking back the lead in the race. Now he's just got to hope that Joshy can defend from Zinc hard enough, even on those slightly older or slightly more worn soft. Although the ERS difference between these is absolutely incredible. Illyrian has used pretty much all of his, while the people at the top have not had to be so reliant on their battery. It's definitely going to come in handy later on in the race. Zinc trying to get past Joshy. He knows that the Alpine ahead of him is going to cost him time. Shadow just sitting back. Tessa's desperately trying to take over Zinc. Bloody up my nose. Apologies. It's a it's very entertaining to watch actually, because F2, it's not very consistent. It's only now and again you'll see like overtakes, but they'll be like down in P11 or P10 and people will be fighting for points. But Tessa makes the move on the McLaren, and a Wi-Fi problem for Zinc is gonna not do him any favours, as he's gonna fall down the grid. Everyone seems to be overtaking him at the moment. He's gonna need to reconnect effective immediately, if at all, if he wants to make this comeback. And he is joined. I assume he's going to take control of his car, but he just loses a position to Flatbread beforehand. This is not good for the McLaren. I'm not even sure if he can get back in the car. Oh no. He's taken control. Well, that has done absolute wonders for the Alpine. There's a very disturbing advert on my phone, right? There's no way there's an ad for that. Anyway. Tessa moving their way through Maggots and Beckett's, trying ever so desperately to keep up with the Alpines. If Tessa loses DRS, it's gonna do Alpine a lot of favours, which is why they're gonna have to use their ERS to the full potential to try and stay within. Some strange lines from the two Alpines working together to pull each other along. Charldinho is trying to let these soft compounds last absolutely ages, and I'm not even sure how long they do last here. But what I do know is that they will be dropped off a lot by now. There will be like your average really old hard tyre. Marinov picks up 3-second time penalty. He's in P9 right now, trying to fight with Chimp whilst trying to defend from Dylan. Chimp's on low ERS, so is Marinov, but Dylan managed to get the job done. Marinov follows closely behind. He tries to take it round the inside, and he slightly forces Dylan wide. A little bit of contact, but this is going to let Chimp absolutely run away. Haas has taken the position back. Marinov just going over the white lines, out the exit of Cop's corner. How is Tessa doing, keeping up with the Alpines? Might try and move relatively soon. If not, it's gonna really help Joshi with those tyres to try and keep ahead, as they've kind of taken a bit of a gap to Illyrian. Zink trying ever so desperately to work his way back up, but that DC has not done him any favours, as he almost loses the back end and drops further back down the grid. Yum. Nine laps to go, a third of the way through the race, and there has not been many position changes near the top. Flatbread, who is an F2 driver, says to me before the race, Silverstone Dry is his track, and he's proving it to be so, considering that these people, no offence, are way faster than him on your average track. But there is wheel-to-wheel action going on between JSTM, also in the shadow, and Joshi. Didn't even realise how far Joshi had dropped back, probably after the first DRS straight. But I can almost guarantee that he's going to try ever so hard to keep it behind these drivers, using the DRS, using his ERS to his fullest potential. But now Charldinho is going to be soon under attack from the McLaren and the Mercedes. He's not going to be able to keep the gap up much longer, as there is a four-way fight for P1, as Charldinho leads the race, as he already leads the driver standings. This race has done absolute wonders for him so far. Although, I'm more surprised by Joshi's pace. I've never actually seen him, really. But considering how old his tyres must be compared to everyone else, he's doing a really good job of keeping it with the rest of the drivers. No doubt that he will box soon, because even with DRS and ERS he is losing time on the straight, so it might be time to put it in the pits and get the new hard compound. Unless he's doing a soft medium, which fair play. Jonathan with a 3-second time penalty. Jordan and McClenny are fighting for top position to try and climb their way up to grab some points for their respective teams. Although Jordan's going to see that McClenny's flashing ERS in his own way. Jordan is also low on ERS. Jono picks up another time penalty, but Jordan is going to try and make a lunge, but the DRS from Chesney Reese isn't going to allow that to happen. Zink, though, as Joshi goes into the pit lane, I think this is the perfect time for him to box. What a comeback from Zink. I completely missed it all. Must have been in the DRS straight. But ahead of him is a three-way fight between the McLaren, a Mercedes, and the Alpine. A little bit wide goes Charldinho. This is giving the Mercedes a massive opportunity. Jordan with a 3-second time penalty is not good. I don't know how he's got it there. May have been forced off, but we'll only find out later in the post-race media, as they go very quickly through the high-speed corners Those hards are not going to be looking too healthy in a couple of laps time. It'll be interesting to see the mix up in the grid after everyone decides to box, execute their strategy in hopes to win the Silverstone Grand Prix. Why is this so Anyway, the two McLarens though, I have to say, Zink has made an incredible comeback after being disconnected down to P7. He has done a really good job. Illyrian boxes for mediums, an interesting choice. Will they go to the end? I'm not sure. They might do 14 laps. Definitely doable. Flatbread though into P6. Chimp quite a way away from the Williams. Zink trying to desperately get back into the fight with Tessa and Charldinho. Where has Illyrian come out? He has come out near nobody. He's not going to get the DRS advantage that the people at the top are going to be getting. While he's on a newer compound, he's going to be losing time on the straights, especially since he has no battery compared to the people at the top, who are sitting comfortably at about 50. But Tessa takes the lead, absolutely burns the ERS to make that overtake, and he's done it profoundly. JSDM though follows closely behind as Zink tries to close that gap. Flatbread boxes. Marinov with a 5-second penalty for speeding in pits. Chimp also makes his way in as well. Dylan still sitting outside. Jono with a hefty 6 seconds. There's a lot of changes in the grid as everyone is coming in. Although the top 4 have stayed out. They are trying to make the most of the advantage they have at the moment. But I think it might be time to box so they don't get undercut for the people behind them. K1. K1, I didn't even realise made it back into this race and is now following Chimp in the McLaren. His teammate, sadly, executed on turn 1. As well as Wave, his accomplice, you may want to call him. But Zink has only lost time to the people ahead. And who's that peels into the pits? It's Charldinho. He's trying to get the undercut on the rest of the drivers. The longest pit lane in history, I think. You could be all the way going through Maggots and Beckett's, and the chances are, and someone's just going into the pits, and the chances are you will still overtake them. That's how long it is. I think it's like 36 second pit lane or something. Illyrian takes back fastest lap. Or did he keep it? Not sure. As we see everyone, apart from the top 5, moving on to new tyres, and P16 and P17. Chesney Reese into P4. I don't know how he does this every single race. He seems to just magically teleport about 10 positions upwards in the matter of a couple laps, but it might be because everyone's boxed. It's going to be his time to box soon, which is where he'll probably fall down the grid, especially considering the undercut is quite heavy on this track, I'm pretty sure. Joshi though, trying to make that comeback, and in doing so, the top 3 are staying. No, Shadow is staying out to make sure they don't double stack into the pit lane. Tessa coming into the pits as well. They're probably going to be ahead of everybody else. Well, I say everybody else. The people they were fighting with. Reese has not boxed. He's feeling comfortable on those medium compounds. Any chances are he's going to make a stop for some soft compounds. Marinov gets another 3-second time penalty. Jordan on a new set is going to be absolutely rapid. He is in P12, but I'm sure he'll climb the grid with 11 laps to go. The top 5 has shuffled around quite a lot. The top 3 are going to have to get a wiggle on, because the people who have boxed for new tyres are right behind them. I think Shadow made a mistake. Oh, no, Shadow is all the way over there. My bad. But Chesney, Reese and McClenny are going to fall down a lot. Maybe potentially back down into P10. Nearby to Chimp. Maybe even further. How is Chimp doing? Chimp is still nowhere near anyone else. Not getting that DRS advantage that Fatbread and Zinc are getting. They are only going to grow further apart from each other as Shadow comes into the pits. And Chesney Reese, he has the balls of steel. He is staying out. But you can tell, and McClenny, you can tell that they are losing grip just by the way they came around that final corner. They're going to have to be incredibly elegant on the throttle if they want to stay ahead. Charldinho takes fastest lap. He wants that extra point, which I'm pretty sure we still give out. I'm 100% sure. But the Alpines, they have worked from all the way since the start of the race till now, and it's paid off. As far as I'm concerned, it's a 1-2 for the Alpines, and Mercedes and McLaren are the only people, or the other team that might make a comeback and might be able to get back into this race. But as far as I'm concerned, it's going to be a good finish for the Mercedes and the Alpines. Bloody hell, can my voice stop cracking, please? But Joshi gets a 3-second time penalty, not being able to keep it in the white line on the white lines on the exit of Cops Corner. With 10 laps to go, Chesney Reese, he's got to be boxing now. Surely not. McClenny trying to now box. Chesney Reese is is a reserve, so he might just be trying to have some fun, which fair enough. I respect that, but Tessa takes fastest lap. The only thing stopping Tessa right now from getting a Grand Slam is 2 very, very speedy Alpines. Tessa doesn't have DRS, but the Alpines do, as they follow each other. Chesney Reese currently leads the race, but is only a mere 5 seconds ahead without boxing, with the longest pit lane. So he's going to fall quite far down after being on these compounds for 16 laps. Quite impressive how well he's keeping it together. Tessa though, trying to make an overtake on Joshi, and he's done it. And Illyrian is going to be ahead, especially considering the 3-second time penalty, so all he has to do is just keep it within that 3 seconds. But Tessa overtakes Reese, who's finally boxed, which makes Charldinho leading the race, and Tessa only 7 tenths behind. looks like it's going to be a four-way battle for P1 if Illyrian is able to get into the DRS in time. It's going to be close. Telemetry is telling me he's not going to make it. And he hasn't made it. He's going to be dropping back incredibly quickly. But some wheel-to-wheel action between Chimp and Marinov. Can Chimp defend? He's got the inside line, he's got the advantage. Marinov's going to try switch back, but he's not close enough. He's going to try go around the inside, but Chimp reads it well. Very good defending from Chimp there, taking the inside line and defending a switchback. Props.
No in-game sound.
I've got sound. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Are you joking? I don't mean to be mean, but hopefully it's just you. So it's not anyone else.
I'm in death.
Never mind, I'm deaf. Alright, lovely. Not lovely. You know what I'm trying to say. Good that it's not blind. But Chimp falls down into P11 after all of that happening, so I'm not sure what happened there, but that happened. Tessa takes the lead of the race. I completely missed it. Bloody hell. There's two really good battles going on at once. I think Charldinho is having a tough time with the tyres. I'm not 100% sure though. He does have a 20% battery advantage. But Alpine, yeah, even if neither of them win, they've had a great weekend. A P2, P3 is going to boost them up a lot in the constructors, with the McLarens only being what, a collective 15 points, I'm pretty sure, somewhere around there, which is not good for them considering where they were at the start of this race. But with 7 laps to go, Tessa is on their way to making a grand slam, but Charldinho sees that they are low on ERS, which might give him the motivation to push on, not give up. Although, my mistake, Illyrian, as of currently, will take P3 away from Joshi, considering the 3-second time penalty, unless of course Joshi realizes this and can fall out of that time gap for track limits. But at the moment, especially considering Illyrian has no DRS and neither does Joshi, it's going to be a two-way battle for P1 for the remaining 6 laps of the race. I'm going to dive down a bit, see what's going on at the bottom. A bit of two-way action. How do I? Oh wait, that one. 3-way battle. Incredible wheel-to-wheel driving from Dylan and Marinov. Dylan gets the better of it. Jordan's left the session. A lot of Wi-Fi problems after being in P8. Chimp follows on behind the two ex-F2 drivers, proving that they are fast enough to be up here. DRX activated, and Dylan is going to lose out heavily. Chimp is not going to be able to make the overtake on Marinov, and neither is Marinov going to be able to make the overtake on Dylan. So impressive defending from Dylan. I don't know how he's done that. Maybe with a ERS advantage, and maybe he's burned it all off now. But Tessa managing to keep ahead of the Alpine incredibly well. Where is Zinc? What am I doing? Illyrian quite close to Zinc actually. He's climbed ahead of the McLarens. Oh no, the McLarens have climbed ahead of him. Showing incredible pace. Back from where they originally were. No penalties to their name, so it's an all-out battle for the next 5 laps. Chimp gets an easy overtake on Jordan, as well as Marinov and Dylan, as they all go wide. As Jonathan takes the fastest lap and takes the Grand Slam away from Tessa. And wheel-to-wheel battle for P5, and it seems JSTM is going to get the better of it. Late braking from Illyrian. He's going to have to back out of that one. Oh, but a snap from JSTM allows him to stay wheel-to-wheel, and a bit of a snap from Illyrian causes JSTM to be put in a wall, and it's a VSC. This could potentially ruin Shadow's race and completely disarray the points they could have got to keep their constructors' lead. That's going to be I feel like that one might cause a vote in the stewards' room. Crazy. Jordan has left again. He has DNF'd. Wait, what? Did he DNF on track? Might have to investigate on that one. This is going to benefit Joshi. Ow, I just got an electric shock from my wheel. Fuck off. Still VSC. This is only helping Charldinho, delaying the amount of time he has to defend for. DRS enabled, VSC is over. DRS active. How is Dylan going to defend this one? He's burning all his ERS that he's just gained from the VSC to help him stay ahead. Incredible timing for the Haas. Chimp following closely behind, knowing he has P9 secured as of yet. He has to keep within that time frame, which is going to be relatively simple for him as he has the pace and he has a very small tyre advantage over the Haas as well. But as we move back up the grid, it's very sparse, very separated, almost like an F2 lobby, until you get to the top 2 fighting for that position. Charldinho still ahead of Tessa. 3 laps remaining. Charldinho has a massive ERS advantage, which, if he uses it correctly and effectively, he will be able to stay in the lead even after all the DRS straights, if he's clever enough. And then, setup wise, I think Charldinho might have more aero. He did not use any battery. Struggles to keep it within the white lines, my bad. But Tessa has managed to gain quite a lot because of that, and potentially it's the next DRS straight that he'll be able to capitalise on the speed difference that he will be granted. Marinov with another 3-second time penalty. Chimp finally manages to get past Dylan, who has dropped back quite a lot, so you never know, there may have been a minor incident that has caused this. So we'll see after the race. There will be multiple tickets that will be submitted, I'm sure, with 2 laps to go, not including this one. JSTM has fallen all the way down to P11, and he is quite a distance away from Reese, so it looks like no points for him this weekend. An unfortunate collision with Illyrian. Each of them both had a devastating snap, and Charldinho gets a 3-second time penalty, which takes away all the excitement for the end of this race. As long as Tessa can keep it within white lines and keep it within 3 seconds, they have they have won the race, because as far as I'm aware they have got into no incidents whatsoever. Unless we see a repeat of the race in Imola in F2, where I devastatingly, not even a word, I was informed from Chimp that Wizzy Boy had made a mistake and I needed to push, and as soon as I did so I went over track limits because I pushed way too hard and I used my battery through the chicane. But then Wizzy Boy got one, and I won the race after a weird move, let's call it that. I lost the word for it. JSDN though picks up the fastest lap, and if he wants that to be, I'm pretty sure you get a point for it. Please correct me if I'm wrong. He has to be within the points to actually have that added to the points. So unfortunate for him, but at least he can say he got the fastest lap at the race. DRS activated. Hopefully Tessa does not make the same mistake that I did round this corner on the Friday, where I got a little bit cocky and was a bit too eager to finish first on track after I obtained a time penalty. As we head into the final lap, the grid very, very far out. Chimp and Marinov battling it out, but it's not going to matter because of the penalties that Marinov has accumulated. It's going to keep, no matter what, Chimp is going to stay P7. A very entertaining battle, or entertaining battles across the board. Just looking out for Tesla to make sure that they don't get that 3-second time penalty, which I know Charldinho is absolutely praying for, as they come across a couple back markers, I'm pretty sure. As they go through the high-speed corners through Maggots and Beckett's, where the chances of Tessa getting a time penalty was highest, but even after the time penalty, Charldinho was not able to keep first on track, and it was a very successful move from the Mercedes as they come around the final couple of corners. And Tessa is your race winner, followed by Charldinho, and ZNYQ's had a very good comeback this weekend, and Josh Illyrian, who was able to keep within that time frame and get ahead of Joshy. Flat red with P6, Marinov, who will not be P7. Chimp takes it, and Marinov falls all the way down to P10 after Dylan and Reese finish less than 9 seconds behind him. JSDM, who had a very unfortunate race towards the end, takes home P11. Jono had an alright comeback, no points unfortunately, but that's P12. McClenny. Very unsuccessful race. Jonathan, who's already finished somehow. Minty Hazza, who is ghosted, and K1 comes around the final couple of corners. Everyone's leaving the session, which is causing a lot of lag for the remaining people that haven't quite come across the line, and that is the race over. well. That was fun. So Tessa is your race winner. Well deserved. Got pole position, proved he was the fastest around this track. At one point gaining the fastest lap, almost a Grand Slam. Not quite. Mercedes team going to be happy about that one. A sad day for Shadow, who would have been in for some amazing points. And an unlucky 3-second time penalty for Charldinho, but that has been the Silverstone Grand Prix. Hopefully I'll be here for the Monaco Grand Prix, where there'll be a lot of incidents and a lot of time for me to spew absolute bullshit. So yeah, that's been the race. Goodbye.